Hey, here we go, everyone. How you doing? With this Ascension, one of the main topics that's been on the table, the common theme over the last or recent while, is the relationships and the transitioning of them. Uh, there's two separate yet together explanations uh, in regards to relationships. So, where I say two separate uh, explanations, you have your family, friends, relationships, and then you also have your divine relationships with your partners. So there's currently two things that are occurring that are slightly different and has a slightly different importance. And at this time, with these relationships, everything is being evolved, resolved, and reconciled to the highest to fit a more harmonious pattern in the new 5D. And these relationships must go this way. And as many of you know, the energetics, your sensitivity has heightened right at this point beyond anything yet. And also, as you know, your emotions, your feelings, your expressions, everything you do has an energetic impact, not only upon your reality, but upon everyone that you interact with. Now, to create the harmonious new earth, the relationships get greatly affected. For one reasons, they need to evolve to higher relationships. This may cause separation in your family and friends if they are not compatible. And one of the reasons for this is everyone does not read the same book and they do not have the same knowledge, so they are not on the same page. And this is important to know this. And one of the reasons is that we lead by example. We are the peers with everyone we interact with. We are the book. We are the guidelines. We are the instruction. So you lead again by example in all of your relationships. And this is how you teach the public. You teach everyone. And as it goes forward, it integrates into the timelines and the energetic template. Um, let's just say, in regards to relationships, then it transitions them into the more harmonious. So as more and more wake up and change the way that they acted before and understand more about themselves, it is immediately reflected out into the reality. And this is how the timelines are transitioned to higher timelines with more harmony, more peace, all of the good things that we wish. So, again, with any relationship, it begins within you. And this is the most important time with any relationship, whether it be with a partner or your family. And one of the most important reasons, if not, it is the most important, is that with your co creator abilities at creating your reality has strengthened beyond anything yet. Everything that you think about, everything that you say means so much more than it did at any time in the past. And you are affecting it as co creators in your manifestation abilities. For example, if you wanted an ice cream, if you wanted to manifest it, you would walk around the corner and perhaps you would see an ice cream truck. However, with relationships, you are creating at a larger scale. So, having said this, you need to be very meticulous within your thoughts, within your being. And this is where all of your inner work came into play at purifying and yourself to the fullest degree of all lesser acts and emotions. because you do not want to be projecting that into your reality and also into your relationships. Because again, we are here to transition humanity into the higher levels of being and getting closer to heaven, if you will. So again, it all begins with us and what we do and how we act in any relationship. You have the power of being fully positive to create what you wish to see in your relationships. In your relationships, if it's what you think is a little bit tense, now as a co-creator, you would say, no, it's not tense. It's perfect because there's something there to learn if it is a little tense, or you have the ability to evolve it higher and to introduce new higher ways of being and acting and reacting in the relationship. So you can say it's a learning curve every step of the way. And you have the ability to create the good relationship from the now moment, from the void. You put yourself in the void, in the now moment, and you don't need to look at what you need to fix. You look at what you wish to create. Then you train your brain to remain with that. No matter what, you say the relationship is harmonious. And even if it is not, then you know that it's divinely meant to be. You never do anything wrong with this, and you do not lie by saying a relationship is harmonious, whether it may not seem that you are co creators. And to create, you need to take the state of mind into the now. If you keep saying it needs to be harmonious, you keep creating that you keep creating that state because you're always thinking it needs to be, and you keep pushing the harmonious relationship ahead of you when you do this. So you need to bring it into the now with your thoughts. You need to believe it in your heart, and your intent needs to be there, and you will find you are much more successful. Now, also with relationships with your family and what have you, as we know, again, you are here to be the teacher. So even though that may not seem to work for you, you will then know it's part of the divine plan, and at least you did your best, and you have no issue with it. You do not take it upon yourself that a relationship did not work. You understand and you know that that is the way that it divinely must go. So these are some tips with the individual relationships with the family and friends at this time. And also because you are creating the new by doing this, you are creating the new harmonious relationships upon the planet. And as you know, you look right around the world, like things like divorce rates, family disputes, arguments, all of that has got to go into the new. And this is also part of the new world. But it has to be acted out and created by you in this now to have it. If you keep expecting something to occur with the relationships by you not being the role model, it never really comes. So you need to act in the now upon this. Um, the most important aspect, what is going on right now with the Ascension in terms of relationships, is the divine unions, the divine partners. You may wish to say that these divine partners, that you are prototypes for the new reality as well. Everything we do here that is acted out in the physical leaves behind a prototype, a template for others to follow once again. So in the divine relationships, as you work on things to transition it to the highest, that is reflected out in your realities. And with this, couples, as we know, when more like-minded come together, the stronger the imprint you have upon the reality. And it's so important at these times for all of the higher divine unions that the couples be united together. And it's one of the reasons why it's so important is because you create that love together. It's a much higher love than being separated and being apart. So when you're together, you create a higher energetic atmosphere uh, to create change that is reflected out in the reality. And perhaps many of you that have read about the 12 original flames uh, that would be upon the surface, and actually 13 pairs is one of the concepts that is written. And you look at their purpose, they're to come together in perfect divine union because they're very powerful creators. And this also assists with changing the timelines to the new harmonious peace and love and everything that we enjoy or everything that we wish to be. So we bring it into the now as well with these relationships. And again, they're being tweaked up at the moment, divine relationships, for whatever way they must go. If they're to be two together, or if two are to separate and there is another partner, whatever way and whatever occurs is absolutely divinely perfect. And this needs to be known as well, to not put so much negative emphasis on a relationship by, let's say, questioning the relationship. And I wish to look at this because I recently, as part of my experience here, what I had to do and what I need to know, I questioned Sharon's and my relationship by some of her actions. It took a while for I to go in and to see, to trace the point back where I began questioning. And then when I did, I found out that I was creating much more of the questioning things. It originated with that I created it because of my train of thought. I began to question things. And when you begin to question things, that is doubt, and doubt is fear. And when there is a fear aspect in there, it lowers the veil, it clouds the judgment. And then, as powerful creators, not knowing this, you begin to create more like things, more questionable things. So it's very important with your frame of mind just to be in the now and fully accept your partner or anyone for what they are. Non-judgmental, unconditional, as we know, it's so important. Always keep your thoughts to the highest, or you will be tainting your relationships. If you think it's something wrong with your partner, well, hey, you're creating that and you're adding that to be. And that just is a downward spiral with it that implodes and causes separation and much more the negative things that we're not here to do. We're here to be in unity and unite. And it's a process to get there. And it's very important that you understand that everything is a process. It's a test that we all persevere. However, it must be acted out with these organic vessels to integrate a template into the timelines here, into the realities for others to follow. So we are the way showers to do this, and the way we do it is through experience as well. We will put ourselves into these experiences to find the solution. And once we do, then we share the solution with others and we work on this all together. And once the new template for the new timelines is integrated in relation to the relationships, then it changes reality very quickly. So again, it begins with us, and we all have a very important mission to do here, not only in regards to taking heaven to earth, but during the whole transition, the process. And I'm still smoking, by the way. That will be going soon. I hope so. I just said this morning I don't smoke anymore. So that's how you began to create it. So if you consistently say you don't smoke, then with your abilities, you bring it in to reality. Now, there, see, I said I don't smoke and it went out. This is how powerful we are. You got to relight it. Okay, I'll just change my creation. I'll smoke this cigarette. Yeah, so it'll stay lit and doesn't go out. So you have right at this point, co-creators, all of us are at the strongest level yet. You need to be very conscientious and meticulous with your thoughts, your words, and understand that you are now creating, and this is beyond let's say, what was a human logic with this. You need to switch the way you're thinking to know that this is one of your, it's your most strongest power here as a co-creator. It's your creational power. So it's very, very important that we know this and that we do this. So much has transpired since December the 28th. As all of you know, you're feeling energies on a much higher level. You're much more sensitive, and many important things are occurring. And this sensitivity is occurring because you are working with this energy, and you need to know what you're working with as well. And you need to know the cause and effects of energy because it creates the reality. So you're being introduced also more to how the grand design actually works. Everything is energy. You are energy. And as co creators or any creator, everything is created with energy. So you are getting more of a familiarization with the dynamics of energy, how it functions, and again, its effects, because we use energy to change this reality. So it's important to understand how it works, to keep it, to keep the polarity to the positive. So again, the divine unions are being tested. Anything that needs to be resolved and transitioned to the highest is occurring and will occur uh, going forward. So everything needs to have a clean slate so that co-creators, two of you in a divine union, when you come together because of the extreme combined power of two of you together, it needs to be very clean. It needs to be purified because you are will be and are creating on the highest creational levels yet. And with this, you will amaze yourself with the abilities and the influence that you have on the reality. And again, we're here to create good, all of the good things, the harmony, and it's created from you. So you need to be purified of the negativity so that we create only the good things, only the light things. So this is part of what is transpiring right now, and it's why the transitioning is occurring. Now, to give the lessons in these areas, you may have within you the knowing. You may have done all of your inner work, yet it seems as you get subjugated to these last little things. Now, with this, it's because it's so important. We're forever going upward, and as we do, there is new knowledge to be integrated. And one of the important reasons, I'll use myself for example. I knew beforehand the solution of what occurred with I and Sharon and questioning the relationship. However, the knowledge of that was taken from I intentionally so I could go in and have the experience. If I went in with the knowledge, I would not even have had the experience and it would not have been integrated into these timelines. The solution is what's important. It's not what you think is the problem, it's the solution. So we transmute, we act out these experiences, and by doing that, bringing them to the highest as the co creators and divine unions you are, you will begin to see that in it, what you inadvertently, that you also impacted your friends and perhaps other divine couples as well, because you have done the work and then the solution is there. But as co-creators working together, you actually create your reality to be that way as well. So it's so important at these times. Uh, More so with the divine unions, that takes the priority because that makes the greatest uh, co-creator potential in this now with two in harmony working together in the physical. So it's so important. You are powerful creators and everything needs to be transitioned to the highest allowable at this time to do that. And what we are doing here at transitioning humanity, so there's always a reason for everything. And again, we do our best. All of your solutions that you find, share them with everyone. So we do this all together. Every bit of information is so important. So music came on for the children to come out and be happy and play. And, I look at them, they're all excited. You may hear them begin to hear their shouts of joy. So it's a beautiful world. And this is what we make. So, having said that, I love you all. Much peace. And, we're doing this. It's been a heavy lift, but you're seeing the fruits of your labor every day come more and more into fruition. And the more you believe that, the more you will make it so. So I love you, love and light, and have the best day yet. Woohoo!